Y'all, the slay.
Oh, hello.
It's so
Is it on?
good.
It's on. Hi.
Don't flatter yourself. You were never even a cosplayer.
How are we doing, my friends?
Good. Yeah, I'm gonna just take this. Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
just have
hold
it.
I'll
We're
just
hanging.
Hold the whole thing. Your Sunday. What did you say? Sunday sleepies.
The Sunday sleepies.
I'm in that boat. Who here is in that boat? Anyone? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I woke up and was like, oh, it's day 3.
Feeling the day 3.
Tired.
Yes.
But other than that, doing great.
Good.
Had a great weekend.
I would love to know if there's been a highlight of the weekend so far. If you could pinpoint one moment that you're like, this was the moment for me this weekend.
Well, we went to dinner. We went to dinner last night in that tower.
The vast tower, the 49th floor.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not the vast tower. I thought it was. But
Oh, no, that's just the
Vast
name of
is
the restaurant. Yeah.
Anyway, but our waitress was like, I just binged Avatar 2 weeks ago after her friend who had called. Someone was trying to call in so he could cover a shift and he didn't want to do it. So she was like, you're going to be so sorry you didn't come in tonight. Because he was the friend who was like, you have to watch Avatar The Last Airbender. So she's like, all right, I finally did. And she's like, and I loved it. And now, so we made a video for Luke, the guy's name is. And yeah. So anyway.
That is the highlight. That is so
dinner was
special.
really
The whole
yummy.
kitchen
That's
came back
great.
because our person who made the reservation said we were celebrities, and I was like, oh, they're going to be
don't do that.
sorely disappointed when we get there. They're going to be like, where's J-Lo? Who are you people? Yeah, but they were like, no, this is way better because there was like Pokemon fans, and we were with Ash Ketchum, and it was fun. Yeah, so that's very
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. And Gray usually, which is understandable, and I usually do too, she normally just, it's a long day. And so you recover, she has kids, so she's like FaceTiming them. So she normally doesn't come out to dinner. And I was like, Gray, can we get dinner this weekend? Can you come out? And she's like, I'll come out. And it was just so much fun. I'm so glad she
to
did.
set her up with this cute guy that was also there.
No.
She said,
That was the MO the whole time?
sorry. Now you know my evil plan. But yeah, in the bathroom, I was like, he's kind of cute. Do you think he's cute? Just like, anyway.
You're
I was telling Annika, my assistant, I was like, if that works out, I'm taking all the credit. But anyway, yeah.
You can.
So
we'll circle back around like 10 years from now. We'll
Officiate the wedding, all of that business. Yeah, exactly.
my robes.
Yes, you could
the
win
strongest
this.
couple in the entire world. You'll dominate the earth.
Wait, can you officiate? Because Greg Baldwin, who's Uncle Iroh 2.0, he can do weddings.
It's like actually he has like the certification.
Yeah, he has a
and everything.
certification. So if you did that, I bet you people would. They'd be like, yell at us and marry us.
You could be hired out. That could be like a whole other side gig.
I'll just officiate divorces. That's
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
You up with the paperwork. It's all very horrifying for everybody involved.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Okay, so this year was the 20th anniversary, correct? That's
Yes,
this year?
indeed, February.
That's insane.
You're telling me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I would love to know, initially when you were signed on to the project, when you got on, what was the fan experience like, and for you coming into it, first impressions of it versus now after having literally 20 years with it, and it's still like, look at how many people are showing up because they just love this show. I would love to know. Yes. Like comparing and contrasting my first session, my first experience with this show versus now.
Yeah. Well, Gray was, a lot of my memories of Gray were of her pregnant with her first child, which is crazy.
He's 18 now, and he goes to SVA in New York. He's 6'3", and so it's so weird to think you weren't even around at all, but when this all started.
I know, it's wild. And I was 12 and 13 at the time, so my memory is very like selective and I just, for some reason, remember like she was already in her seat during one of our recording sessions, and I walked in and she was just like, oh, hi. She was so nice, and then we started recording and she was very mean, and I was like, oh, wow. There's such a switch happening. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, at the time, I didn't have cable. Social media didn't exist yet. iPhones were like, 2008, I think was the first.
They were bricks.
The end, yeah. And so it was just a totally different experience. It was like I went every Tuesday after school and like left an hour early and like recorded my lines and then went home and did my homework. And like everyone was very nice. Andrea Romano, our wonderful director and leader, was incredible. I never felt like the kid. I always felt like she talked to everyone the same and was just great at her job. Mike and Brian were always very sweet. It just felt like a very wholesome, like, cool, I get to be like a lead character in this show. And compared to now, where it's like, oh, wow, like lots of people have watched this and like it. This is crazy. We had no idea. I had definitely no idea. And so I think just I don't know, life-changing, kind of crazy. I mean, Netflix obviously made it much more accessible, which is cool. Yeah, I don't really know. It's a lot of life has happened from age 12 to age 30. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, my son said that. He said he got teased in high school because they were like, "You're the spawn of Azula," you know. He's still never
That's a
seen
flex.
the show. Yeah,
That's not something to be made fun of.
Yeah, but I remember I was like, "Yes, we've defeated you for all time." You know, when I did that speech, "You'll never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation." I remember my stomach. He was going, whoop, 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 like jumping in there. I even scared my kid. Yeah,
Yeah, you tell him, Mom. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
My middle son finally saw it, and that's the only reason I saw the show. I'd been doing cons every weekend, and up until last year, had never seen the show. So he was like, "Mom, my friend said that I'm Azula's son, and I really want to watch this show called Avatar: The Last Airbender. All my friends have seen it, and I haven't seen it." So I was like, "All right, let's watch it." So every Wednesday, we would get our popcorn, and that would be our thing that we would do. And I kept going, "We could watch another one. Let's watch another one." And he was like, "Oh, thank you so much. We watch another one." And I was like, "Watch another one. Let's watch another one." You know, really, because I wanted to see the next one. I just wanted to see what happened. I knew what happened because I did it, but it was so good. I was like, no wonder everybody loves this show. It's so good. And I also got all the jokes. I was like, Boomerang, you really do come back. And like all that, because I've been hearing Jack say that to fans.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is that? I don't know. And then when I saw the show, everything made sense. So.
Right. At a certain point, doing all of these conventions and hanging out with other cast members, like you sort of kind of, I feel like, get the premise. And like, you're like, I could tell you mostly what happens and like a lot of the famous lines from other people, but then just actually sitting down, seeing everything, hearing everything all together. Like
I knew all my stuff, but I have to say panels, my butt was like, because I was like, please don't ask me something and I don't know. And they would be like, what's your favorite animal? And I'm like, I had heard somebody say turtleduck. I was like, turtleduck? I don't know. Anyway, I was always very terrified.
I felt nervous a few years ago whenever the show was on Netflix and people started posting about stuff more because I was like, I have to do my homework because people are going to know more than me. And then that's going to be bad. Yeah. And so I was like, I sat down and I watched it through like twice and I like Googled lore and like ships. And I was like, I have to know. Otherwise someone's going to ask me something and I'm going to be like, what? And then they're just going to be like, how do you not know that? And that's like the worst feeling.
I disappointed a lot of people when I had told them like, I've actually never seen it. And they're like, what? I mean, it was terrible.
But you're
a working lady. Exactly.
Great. Shush. You're like 100 different characters a year. You're busy. That makes sense.
I'm also a single mother with 3 children, and I'm just tired at night. I've seen the first 5 minutes of lots of shows. Like my oldest is like, watch White Lotus, and I was like, okay, and I was like, this is really good. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm sleepy.
The Sunday sleepies. Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Yes. All right, my friends. Well, I can turn it over to you, Earth Kingdom. Let's do it.
Hey.
Hey, fear not, I've got a Fire Kingdom one as well. Unfortunately, it's Zuko.
Oh,
So,
he's not here right now. He's looking. He's trying to find his honor.
for my honor.
It's all right. It's funny. You can laugh.
Question is, your characters, was there any part that you never really got to flesh out or maybe expand on it as much as you would like?
Flirting. We saw her have her little tiny moment of, oh, Sokka, you saved me. And then we saw nothing else until Korra. So, I mean, I would like to watch, I think maybe, with the movie coming out next fall, who knows? We maybe get to see her like attempt to flirt with someone. And I just really think it would be her probably berating them and then like punching them in the shoulder before they walk away and she being like, yeah, I crushed that. And then it's just like, why is this girl so angry at me? Like, I feel like it'd just be funny to watch. So I want to see more of that because like everyone else got to have like a little something somewhere, like the beach episode or like, Suki and Sokka, they all like had their things. And I was like, why? Am I just like too great at earthbending for everyone? Like what's happening? Like, come on. So yeah, I want to see that.
Yes, I got to flirt. That sharp outfit compliment didn't go so well.
Oh my God, the beach episode is my favorite.
It's my favorite episode too.
So good.
Yes. Favorite.
That's the one that I've probably seen the most. Thank you so much, my friend. Hello. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Wesley. First of all, love the two of you, love the show. First thing that was said was kind of talking about the show's been around for 20 years. The older the show gets, it seems like more and more people love it.
The older we get, yeah.
I was 7 when the show came out, so that's... but my question is, like, there's a lot of shows with a lot of different characters that just kind of get popular just because the character is quote-unquote cool or does this one thing. And I think the difference for Avatar, particularly with your two characters, is that the story around those characters is so empowering to people and kind of the story of those characters is so lovable. So like both of you, just kind of your thoughts on like just how much those characters, even now, like the story just continues to resonate with people and kind of bring people into the show.
They didn't do so much advertising. I think that the story was so captivating. So many people, it's just all word of mouth. There's so many people come up and say, we hadn't started dating yet, but she was like, if you don't watch, we need to watch this show and see if you like it. And if you don't like it, we can't date, that kind of, just like, it's a real litmus test for whether friendships can survive or whatever. So, but yeah, I love how many people get to it that way, through someone else. Everybody's always like the shepherd,
Do you get people, because I mean, you're evil. So do you
and my character's not nice either.
Yeah. But do you have, like, I'm curious what you say, because for Toph, I get a lot of people, especially like young girls who are just like, I'm so happy I feel comfortable being a tomboy and not like a girly girl. I feel a little different. Or like disabled community being like, this was the first character I could connect with and who just like made jokes and this was amazing. Like what kind of comments like that do you get? They're like, you inspired me to murder my brother. Like what?
I get a lot of people going, you were my first crush. And I'm like, oh,
okay.
wow.
Yes.
After you probably went down a dark road with relationships for a while.
It's so funny you say that. I'm literally sitting here thinking, like, when I was watching the beach episode over and over and over again, my best friend when I was younger was like, I'm obsessed with Azula. And I was like, interesting choice. She turned out to be very much a lesbian. And I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. She also really, really loved Miss Baltimore Crabs and Hairspray, like Michelle Pfeiffer. And I was like, okay, everything is lining up now. You liked the hot evil lady. Yes. Okay, I love this for you.
Well, because what I love about Azula though too is she is so powerful. Like I wish. I mean, it's great that she is the villain that she is, because we've had this discussion of like, should there be like a redemption arc for her? And I think that it's okay for villains to just be villains, and sometimes there's just kind of a bad seed. But she also is so talented and she's so intelligent and like powerful that I'm like, I wish there was like a strain of good, because having that drive, and like you did such a great job playing her too, of like, I'm inspired. Maybe I'm bad. Like maybe I agree with you.
Maybe bad is good.
Maybe bad is good. That's true. I am Melon Lord, so there's a little bit of bad in there. So no, but I don't know. I think your character's really cool. I think about Azula a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But just because, I'm a lesbian. Surprise. No, I am bi, but I don't know if Azula was my origin story for that part. But I think that she's one of the most complex, like cool, multi-layered characters. And I don't know. I'm a fan of you and of her. So
the writing, I have to give
so
all
good.
credit to the writers, because we do cartoons all the time that, they're just not, the characters are very one-dimensional, and this is just so layered. So like when I was having my demise at the end and fighting Katara, I was like sobbing during the actual recording of that, just because I had so much empathy for Azula and what she'd been through, and she didn't really have much of a chance, Yeah. So bad dad.
Yeah.
Bad dad.
Parent
That'll get
issues.
Azula for the win. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Hello, my friend.
Hello, it's a Twinkle Toes. Hello.
What's your favorite character?
Favorite character
We can
in
answer-
Avatar?
I was about to say we can answer all angles of that. So my
Yeah,
favorite character
Avatar.
in Avatar, yes, is Appa. Appa's number one for me. And then it's Uncle Iroh. I mean,
I'll forgive
obviously.
you.
And then I'm 3. I'm next.
Mine is Katara, because I've always wanted to kick my own butt.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
That was a great question. Hello.
Hello, my name's Jocelyn. We're all here because we love Avatar, and it means so much to us. And Gray, you also worked on one of my other favorite shows, Critical Role.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was just wondering if you guys have seen or played or anything the Avatar tabletop game, because it's really good and it deserves more love.
Oh, I've signed a lot of the cards from the tabletop game, but I haven't played. I'm terrible at I'm terrible at role playing games. I mean, because I do Vox Machina, and they invited me on Critical Role to do the role playing, and I was just because I want to be the dungeon master, and I keep inviting, like I'm like, and then there's a box with a dragon on it, and they're like, no, that's, you're not making the rules here, and I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, but yeah, I'm too dom for that game.
I've played it all the way through once. We did like a fundraiser game with the tabletop game like 2 years ago, I think. And then we actually toured the company's like headquarters that made it like the year before or during like their Kickstarter. I can't quite remember. And like they showed us kind of their process of making it and everything. I too have only played like 2 or 3 tabletop games, I think. Yeah, 2 or 3. I think just it wasn't really around as much. At least, I don't know, maybe it's just because I was from the Midwest and then I moved to LA and I didn't have friends who were like doing that. But I didn't really know that it was a thing until like a few years ago. And I was like, what is everyone's doing? What D&D? Everyone's doing this thing.
Like,
What's
there's
happening?
even a group of moms in my neighborhood that do it at
Yeah.
night. It's so fun. I
So I
went in
have-
on that, but I
Played it, but not a ton. So I have the set in my room, so it's there.
if I wasn't doing cons on the weekends, I would join that mom group in a second.
That sounds so fun. That sounds very enriching and very like the community.
Yes, that would be fun. I'm gonna cook as Azula because I've got the Azula. I've got the cookbook. I want to
yes.
do a TikTok of me like.
Do you guys know have you guys seen the Avatar cookbook? Have you seen that around? Okay, the recipes are actually pretty decent. Our fellow cabbage merchant, Mr. James C., he actually made like the little cabbage cookies and we tried them and they're good.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not a flavor profile for like everyone necessarily, but like I really liked it. I was like, this is pretty darn good. Okay, Avatar cookbook. I would
There's
recommend.
drinks too. There's a
Yeah,
like,
whole thing.
yeah.
A whole
Hi,
cocktail
my
menu.
name-
Let's go. Hello, love. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Eleanor, and I was wondering, are you guys cat people or dog people?
Ooh.
Are we cat people or dog people? Like I said, I'm currently a dog person, and I haven't owned a cat yet. I think I'm a small dog person though. I think I'm a chill animal person. I feel like it's just the vibe. I think I've met great cats, I've met great dogs, I've met annoying cats, and I've met terrible dogs. I think I'm more about the vibes. I'm open to both. I love both for different reasons. But right now, more of a dog person because I own a dog.
What breed of dog do you have? I want to know.
Oh, I have a Chiweenie Terrier mix. It was Chihuahua, Chihuahua, Dachshund, and Terrier. He was a surprise. An old theater friend. His dog isn't neutered, and he found a friend in the park, and he's like, I have 6 puppies, and it was COVID, and we're like, oh, they're so cute, and then there were like 2 left. Maddox is the name of my pup, and Maddox was one of them, and he just kept being there, being posted, and I was like, oh man, he's really cute. Am I about to drive to Austin, Texas to pick up this dog right now? And that's exactly what I did. He's the best. He's the best. I love him so much.
He comes to cons and he's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I bring him to conventions sometimes. He just traveled a bit, and so I was like, I should probably leave him home because he's been moving around a lot. So I try to not take him too much, so he's not like, why am I living in this carrier?
He doesn't bark or anything.
He barks at strange men that he doesn't like.
Oh, okay.
But
Amen.
but I can't blame him for
So
that.
do I.
Yes, me too.
Exactly, me too. Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like when guys approach, he'll either be like, "Oh, this is fine," or he'll let you know very quickly. He's like, "Meh."
Good.
It's
He's
really
got a
funny.
good picker.
Yeah, I
Better
guess
than
so.
we can say.
He's got the vibe
What about
check
you? I
for
forget.
sure.
How many creatures do you have?
I had a dachshund. It's like a doxy thing. I
Oh,
had
there
a
you go.
little
Okay.
dachshund named Schneider, but he passed away a
Oh,
year
he
ago.
did?
I know he was very old. He lived a long life, but
He's very sweet.
but I miss him so much. But I didn't think I was ever going to be a cat person, but my daughter was like, "Can we please?" And I was like, and then we adopted this 2-year-old Persian cat named Luther. And oh my God, I am a cat. I was like, I didn't know that this was in me, but man, he is like, now I'm just like, I miss my children, but right underneath my children,
There's
Luther.
that cat.
And at night, like, he waits for them to be gone. You know, like when they go to bed, like when I come home after a con, you know, he's like, is the coast clear? And then he like comes into the bed and then he's just like, you know, just like all around. I'm just like, pet it. He rolls over, he likes his belly rubbed, and he is like the most amazing cat you've ever met. So yeah, he's awesome.
Special.
So both.
Yeah.
And
Good
bye.
question, my
And
friend.
bye. Yeah, we're both bye.
Thank you so much. Hello, hello.
Hey, I just had a question
It's
about the
Luke.
show. Oh, hey.
Hi.
I had this idea. There was the crystals that change the colors of fires in the fireplaces. I was wondering if you strapped them to like your hands and feet, if they could possibly change the color of your fire bending.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I'm going to say yes, because it would
Yeah.
just be cool.
That's cool.
I was just wondering if.
And I mean,
Yeah.
if you can bend lightning too, I mean, that's kind of electricity. So you can probably just like adjust, right?
Yeah,
Right?
and all
Somehow?
color is light, so you can
Light
adjust the
spectrum,
light.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What
Yeah.
color would your fire be, my friend?
Ooh, that's hard. It's hard to pick.
You can pick multiple colors. You could have like a multicolored
All
fire
of them.
situation going
A
on. That'd be sick.
rainbow.
That'd be cool. Strap like a few of them. That
Yeah.
would be a hard pick for me. I would
We'll
just
think
strap
on
There's a
it.
lot of
all.
colors.
Just
Yeah, you can
strap
come back to
all.
us. Just have them all, just like a rainbow. Oh, rainbow fire.
Rainbow
That's
fire. That's what
cool.
I'm saying. I mean,
Nice.
maybe.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Luke.
Yeah.
Spinning that boomerang.
I know.
That is so cool. Hello, hello.
Sorry, it's too low for me.
You good? You got it.
Romeo?
Yeah. Oh
I
my
remember
god.
names. I got
Yeah.
names.
See, literally, you're just reiterating why I love you. Okay, like, gosh. Okay, so even though it was a kid's show, Avatar is like full of like spiritual gems because Iroh was spitting in the show.
Yep.
What was something that like y'all rewatched it and y'all took away from the show that like helped y'all spiritually or anything like that?
A deep lesson that you carry with you think?
Yeah, what she said.
Oh gosh, there's so many. I think as you get older, that's one of the things that you kind of recognize more when you like start rewatching. You start picking up deeper things and little concepts that maybe you didn't catch the first time around, second time around when you were younger. Gosh, there's so many. There's so many. Yeah, I mean, this is why Uncle Iroh's is number 2 because he's got so many lines. He drops so much knowledge. Well, I mean, and Greg actually mentions this a lot too. But I think technically this line's from Korra, but where it's like if you look for the light, you'll often find it. If you look for the dark, that is all you will ever see. And I think it's so important in like showing that you kind of control your perspective, regardless of what is happening around you. Like it can be very dire, and you can be like, "Cool, we're gonna focus on the light. We're not gonna ignore the dark, but we're gonna focus on that, like bringing me through whatever is happening right now." And I think that's just very helpful. And I'm like, such a good line. So yeah, that line, it floats up here a lot.
And then when the Fire Nation was good, like there's not like people are like, oh, Fire Nation, but it's like no, there were a lot of really wonderful people in the Fire Nation. So it's just like Harry Potter. Even though I'm very against the woman who created it, but my kids and I are super into it. But we buy it used so that we're not giving her any money anyway. But like that people are like, oh, Slytherin, but there were some good Slytherin, So I just feel like I like that it wasn't stereotype. Like the stereotypes, it was like gave everybody a chance, and either were. No one's a pure villain or but I had some good points, My own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt. So I like the humanity, that it was no like overall stamps for each, person.
Well, we were harmonious until,
I know. We lived in harmony.
until the Fire Nation attacked. Yeah.
So they say. So they say.
We were attacked.
Well, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, I'm
What's
Ricky.
your name, my friend?
Ricky. Hello.
Yeah.
So my question is just wondering what your favorite episode was to either to do or to watch. I have a favorite.
The beach is mine. Yeah.
I'm constantly torn between the library and Tales of Ba Sing Se. So, I mean, Tales of Ba Sing Se, it's obvious why that one's so fun. I love Sokka's, what is it called? What are they called? Not limericks. Thank you. See, I need to keep you guys around with me. The haiku section is so funny. I love it. But in the library, I just love that freaky little owl. I think it's so cool. I hate a freaky little owl. Just because he's so like, that's another spiritual thing that I also like. It kind of shows like the beauty and the danger of knowledge, and there's just like all this cool perspective, and it's like very calm, and it's like you have access to everything, and as soon as you start like abusing that, it can go south very quickly, and then it's very scary. So that's a cool episode. I like it. And one of my favorite lines, look, there it is. That's what it'll sound like when one of you spots it, is in there. So that's my favorite blind joke. So
my dad wrote a haiku when he was little, and it's the cutest little thing, and he wrote it down, and I just think it's the cutest little poem, and I'm going to share it with you. It says, "Oh, rapturous joy, happy finding in pocket corner, hairy gumdrop."
I was not expecting
Exactly.
that.
It's like, yeah. Oh. Okay.
I was
Good
thinking
choices.
penny, hair tie.
Harry Gumdrop.
Harry Gumdrop.
That's my drag name. There you go.
My favorite was Azula's crash out episode. I love that. I was like,
really
I don't know
good.
if I
It's a good
want to
crash out.
be her or be with her, but I both. Yeah. Thank you.
A universal experience I'm finding. I see.
right? And then we had Asami and Korra, and it was like, what's happening?
yeah,
I don't know what's going on right now.
They did that for them. Yeah, I think.
I had a little crush on Asami when I
She's
watched
so pretty.
Korra.
Are you kidding me?
Of course. Hello. What's your name, my friend?
Hi, my name is Mason, and I had the chance to hear your audition story for Toph at, Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City last year. And so I thought everyone else would enjoy to hear that. And
I
then
agree
wanted to
wholeheartedly.
know, what Gray's story for your audition process is as well.
Great. Yes. Thank you. Cool. So where do I start? Yes. Okay. Season 1. Do you guys remember the fortune teller episode? Okay, so Mang, she has really thick pigtails, has a kind of crush on Aang, and calls Katara Floozy. That was my first role in Avatar. And so I'm her, and then during that session is when Mike and Brian, like that time, they were like, oh, I think we were playing with Toph being like a girl instead. She was supposed to be kind of like a Bolin, like bro-y kind of dude. And they're like, hey, what if we switch this up a little bit? And whenever I came in for Mang, they were like, we should have her audition for Toph. That might be our Toph. But when I got the audition, I was visiting my grandparents in southern Indiana. And we, at the time, this
She's
was
now
like
buying their house, which I think is so sweet.
hopefully.
Okay,
Yeah. But likely. We'll see.
It's like full circle, though. Like,
yeah.
Toph allowed you to buy that house.
It did. It did. And that's like the most consistent place of home for my entire life. So thank you guys. But they didn't have the same technology as they do now. So like these fancy things didn't exist, and microphones were meh. So we were like, oh, we have to turn in this audition in like 2 days. We called like music studios in southern Indiana, and we're like, do you have like a recording booth that we could just record this audition? And so we found one like 30 minutes away and drove to it. Grandparents came with, my mom was with me. It was like a whole family affair. And printed out the script, which was the Blind Bandit episode with the boulder scene. And I went into the booth, and my grandma was like, wait, who reads this boulder part? And I was like, oh, no one. Like, I just read my lines. She's like, well, that seems boring. I'll read the boulder parts.
Awesome.
And so we
That's
went into
awesome.
the recording booth together, and I recorded me. Sounds to me like you're scared, Boulder. And she's like, the Boulder. It's like, and that was the audition we sent into Nickelodeon.
With her lines in it?
With her lines in it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool.
So, and
I didn't know that story. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
me to
that's
tell that
awesome.
story.
And I'm bummed because now we document everything, which we didn't do back then. But I'm like, who has the file? I really want the file,
Yeah.
but I don't know where it is. But yeah, she came in and read the boulder, and then I booked it, and here we are. So
Wow.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was that.
I love it.
They actually wanted to cast your grandma as Toph.
Yeah,
from
they
the
really did.
audition.
They were like, actually, Annette Murphy, can we please?
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you? Did you? Was
No,
this?
they had been going to a lot of celebrities, and then
Yes,
and
that's
then
right.
yeah, there were a lot of celebrities wanted to be a part of the show. But and so I had just played Padme Amidala on the original Clone Wars series. I played all the female roles, and I played Asajj. You're following my ascension to the Sith. And just everything, Shakti, everything. So, but for Padme, I was like, Senator Palpatine, we need to speak with you. So I did sort of a voice like that. And so I thought, oh, okay, well, there's a princess now. I just played a princess. I don't know, maybe I'll do something like that. But then I thought, but I'm going to make her more creepy and just, not giving away any kind of emotion, just sort of one note, And so I had to do the tides. That was my audition, was the tides speech. So, do the tides command this ship? Let's worry less about the tides who've already made up their mind about killing you, and worry more about me, who's still mulling it over. But they said that a lot of people yelled, like, do the tides command this ship? But I did it really quiet and creepy. So they said, we picked you because it was the most disturbing of all the ways.
There you go. That's awesome.
I said, she's a fire princess. She doesn't have to yell at anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. What's your name, my friend?
Hi, my name's Adriana, and it's not a fan panel without ships.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what are-
Azula.
What are
Yeah, Azula is my ship.
Perfect. I was gonna say, what are your like controversial
I
or
mean,
non-canon?
There's also speculation about like the children and Korra and question marks. So I mean, I think that there is a possibility potentially of a little like Toph Sokka. I don't know if you just call it like Taka or if it's supposed to be like Soph or what is it? I don't know. Soph. But like later on in life, I feel like that could have happened. But like in the actual show, I am a fan of like the canon ships that do happen. I know a lot of people are Zutara fans, but I'm like, no, there's so much chemistry because it's toxic. That's not good. It's not a good thing. That wouldn't last. And I think that
When he
I think
ended up with
Tang-
May, I was shocked and upset.
Yeah.
And when I watched it with my son, because I hadn't seen it, that was last year, I was like, what? Like the last, I was like, this is not. Anyway, so maybe that says something about my toxic, but I am single.
But yeah, I do like Tang. I think it's sweet. And then I think Zuko and May like compliment. I don't know. I like the ones that happen in the show, but I'm curious what this new animation next year, the movie, is going to tell us. I'm like, do we get some insight? Do we?
Toph
get
Justice.
Yeah,
her love life.
Justice.
Yes.
But yeah, I think there could be some Toph Sokka overlap later on in life, maybe.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi, I'm Heather. In the Last Airbender, there's like a lot of cross-country travel. If you had to take a road trip with one of the characters, who would you choose?
Good question.
Oh, I'd take Appa so I wouldn't have to take a road
Yeah,
trip.
there you go.
Yeah. He's the
Get
best.
around that traffic in LA.
That's why he's my favorite, because he literally carries the show. So it's a bad joke. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, that was an excellent joke. I love that. That's awesome.
I feel like, gosh, there's so many good ones, but I feel like this is bad. I know. Oh well, back to the ship question. Jet is hot, okay, but he also is very capable. Like watching that little crew like just exist in the forest or whatever. It's like, dang, they're quick on their feet. They're figuring out how to like kind of swing through trees and build like a little encampment and then pack up and go. Like they're just really capable. Like we kind of figured it out, but we were kind of a mess at the beginning. And like Alpha was shedding all over the place. I was like, what are we doing? So yeah, maybe I would like join Jet for cross country. I'd feel safe with Jet. Not emotionally, but physically.
I feel like you get places very efficiently as well.
Yes.
Maybe like he knows all the spots.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to stop at this like one diner in whatever place because he's like,
and
you know.
it's like I know a guy. He's like one of those.
Yeah. He's totally that type for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my friend. Good question.
Thank you.
Hi. I look, we got matching hats going on kind of
know, it's
almost.
great.
Are you associated? Do you know this? Is this a new friend?
This is my dad.
Nice. Okay, great. Perfect.
Which character's color scheme is your favorite?
Ooh, color scheme.
Ooh. That's really tough because I like green, but I feel like the colors of Toph are like a little too bright for my personal liking. Maybe, I mean, Water Tribe is just so pretty with the blue and white. That's really tempting. I don't know. It might be water, which is bad. But like Katara's outfits are always gorgeous. But also
Yeah.
she looks good in her Fire Nation stuff too. I think Katara's just also pretty. So I think we're seeing a theme here. I think everyone's attractive. I'm also single, so maybe that's why. It's been a while.
I like Azula's colors because I mean red's my favorite color. So one of my favorite. Green, I like emerald green, but I think red suits me with my hair. I like a red lipstick. And every time I shop and if it's a red dress, I'm like, well, I could wear it for work, you know. So I'll write it off. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say it's a write-off. That's perfect.
Well, actually, when Toph is like unhappy and like sheltered at home, but her like traditional garments, I think are gorgeous. So that's actually my favorite color palette, but we don't see them very often. But that like sage green with like the little like pearly like opal kind of white and like there's a little pink in there. That's my favorite, but that only lasts for like 2 seconds. So then if that's not there, then water. Yeah.
I want to know where your headband came from and then where this full entourage came from.
Yeah, she's amazing. I can't, it's so pretty. Like it just
I
it
met
flows,
a woman who
it's
does
shiny.
cosplay, and I was like, I need that, you know. And I thought, how much could it possibly be? More. Whatever you're thinking, way more. Yeah,
It's crazy.
Anyway, but I was like, I'm gonna wear it every day to every con forever because to pay this off.
Yeah.
And I do.
I just walked into Joann's in like 2020, 2021, which RIP to Joann's. I'm like, now where am I going to do that? But they had like white headbands and like an arts and crafts section. I was like, great. And then I went to the paint section and they had these 2 colors right there. And I was like, great. And then I went down another aisle and they had poofs in a bag. And I went, great. And then I sat down in front of the TV and just painted it. And here we go. So
It's a whole craft. Yes, I love that.
No, I painted
That
this
is
little
special.
arts and crafts project, you know, because I couldn't really find. I know it doesn't have the point. Like I know it's not perfectly accurate because she technically has like there's angles to it. But I kept like seeing cosplay ones that were just it was too much, and I was like, I just want something I can throw on with like the fit and have it be like casual. So I was like, maybe I'll just do a normal headband, whatever. And I just couldn't find it, or on Etsy it was like not quite the right shade I wanted, and I was like, I'll just paint it. I'll just do it myself. I don't know how I did it because I'm blind, but it turned out pretty great. So
when this is like a 3D print but I stuck it inside of a bump it, you know, and I glued it. It's getting a little sad right now. It's floppy. But when I bought the 3D print to the person on Etsy, I was like, thank you so much. I was like, I do the voice of Azula on Avatar, and then I didn't hear from them for a long. Like I don't think that I don't know if they just didn't check them, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, they're like, oh my god, you know. And they were like, we'll send you a bunch of them. And I was like, well, I'll call you out. If you send me one, you know, if you send me some, I'll advertise your 3D prints. Anyway, yeah.
You could have them at your table too. I think that'd be like a cool thing to have. Yeah.
Right, like a little comb. Oh my God.
business
I
marketing.
do want to try to make like the headbands. Finding like a headband manufacturer is like very specific. And then I'm really picky. And so if they do it, like it has to look right. Because people are like, oh, like, are you selling these? And I'm like, I want to. Because it would be great because I could sign it. Because some people have brought theirs to sign. And it's great. And then I don't know. But it's a lot to make things and then have them and travel with them at cons and stuff. But maybe these are cute.
Yeah.
These are fun,
cute.
easy.
They're cute.
Pop it on
I
top
used
of your
to
head.
put a ponytail up there, and it was like, ow! At the end of the night, I'm like, I have like
Your
a
head.
unicorn with that's been, I just Anyway.
Thank you so much, love. We've got just under 5 minutes left, so I think the folks
Speed
in
round.
line will be our final questions.
Hi, my name's Nadia.
Hi there.
What is y'all's favorite storyline? Whether that be for Toph and Azula or like someone else?
Zuko's really hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, I mean, goodness gracious, just look at the hair alone. Like, the trajectory of growth is crazy. I don't know how to beat. Yeah, Zuko's pretty much.
I agree. Really good.
Yeah. I know that's such a, I
The
feel like everyone
ponytail
agrees.
moment is hard.
Huh?
The cutting of the ponytail.
Oh, yes.
It goes hard,
moment.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Big moment.
It is pretty good. Thank you so much, my friend. Hello.
Hi. I'm Riley. I know that we all obviously love the show as children pretty much. Like you would even get excited watching the little Nickelodeon clips like next week on the new Avatar.
Yeah.
Like it's an
Sure.
adult show. But I personally love the Water Tribe. Like I have the ocean and moon spirit tattooed on my arm. Tweenlaw, yes.
I love that.
Love it. But I wanted to know, do you guys have, outside of your own characters, do you have a scene where one of your other fellow voice actors, like, they got so deep into it and it was so impactful that you were trying to like, whoa. Like one of those like emotional things, like we have Azula's crash out and then like Zuko crying in the rain and like trying to do lightning and stuff like that. I just wanted to know if you guys had like a favorite scene or line from that.
Yeah, Azula's crash out.
I sobbed during my final Agni Kai because there's mental illness in my family, so I drew from a lot of close family members for that, and sometimes they say terrible things, but it's only because they're not on the right medicine or the medicine stops working or they get, and it's just it's really tragic, and so I think I was feeling that too is when I started screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another reason why I like Tales of Ba Sing Se, just because of, I know this is technically me, but like Toph's moment, that's like her one moment of being like soft and like crying
like
a
a
little, and
girl.
you're like never see that again. So, I mean, but Azula's, Gray's performance was obviously so good that like that moment is just like, goodness gracious. Like even when you watch it back, you just can feel how palpable.
Because when you watch
It's
it as an
crazy.
adult, it's so much more impactful. Like each character has like a meltdown at some point where you're like, geez, okay, let's calm down.
Geez, okay, but also I get it, kind of
but
a little
also
bit more.
Like that's too deep. That's too deep.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Of course.
Our final Twinkle Toes, there's 2 of them.
Let's go. Oh, yes, of course, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, my friends. You're good.
What character would be your favorite pet name?
Ooh, who would you name
My
a
favorite
pet after
name?
a character?
A friend of mine actually named her cat Azula. Which is really fun.
No way.
There are a lot of Azula
My boyfriend's cat's name is Appa. Yeah.
There you go.
My friend has a great Dane named Appa.
Oh,
There you go. What? Yeah, I feel like what's the best pet name? Well, actually, I did. I had a bearded dragon, and we named him Flamio. So, yeah. He passed away, but it was a perfect name. He was like orange and fiery, and I was like, it's Flamio right there.
That's good. Good question.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my friends.
My dog is named Zuko.
Oh yeah, you got a dog named Zuko.
Has he found his honor yet?
It's a big question.
Go get it. Go get your honor.
But it's like a toy. Yeah, exactly.
Go get it. Find it. Go find it. Go fetch.
All right, team. So what's coming up? What do we got on the docket? What can we plug at the end of this panel, my friends?
Things. Yes, things. There's a new anime called Mono. Oh, hello. Called Mono. It's about like a photography club of just like high school gals who like go around Japan and taking videos and pictures for their high school photography club, which is very cute. And I'm the English dub of On, and there's a couple episodes already out, and it's very fun. So that's what's live right now. And then I'm on all the socials, which is very fun. But like it seems to be mattering more and more in LA for the younger people, which is kind of frustrating. But I'm like, all right, let's just plug into this. So YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Michaela mostly, or at Michaela Jill Murphy, and I post some silly things. And we made like a silly little video at the restaurant last night. It just each of us sang a line, just fun things like that. But yeah, that anime is on Crunchyroll, and then social media, and then hopefully still auditioning, and we'll see we'll see if there's anything else coming up soon.
My passion is music. So I'm like it's like Johnny Cash kind of country, like Americana. And one guy that was back there said, I saw you at the Saxon Pub in Austin, and we took a picture. It was anyway, but if you follow me on Spotify, I have Azula stickers that you can come get a free one. They're big too. But just follow me on Spotify and just show me your phone. You don't even have to wait in line. Just go, Gray, Spotify, and I'll run you out a sticker. And I'm going straight to my table after this. So if you're following me on Spotify, come get your big Azula sticker because they're beautiful. So
Come on, music, yes.
Yes, music.
And you're going back to your table as well?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're both
Amazing.
going to go back to our tables and hang for a little while longer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for being here. One more round of applause for these lovely ladies.
Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, thank you so much.
Before we all go, if we don't mind all taking a photo together, if that's okay.
Yes.
If we all can gather right here at the end of the stage and try and squish in as much as you possibly can.